I know agriculture is, we are an agricultural-based country, and we continue to have some challenges within that industry. We are challenged, we've also been challenged by World Trade Organization rulings, which affected our markets, and even more recently, we've been challenged by diseases in the banana industry. Nonetheless, the government of Dominica continues to make serious investments in agriculture, in the development of agriculture, and no less in Calibishie. Calibishie is seen as one of the thriving agricultural producing communities, and that is why I know that the Prime Minister would have made every effort, and my colleagues will attest to the fact that almost every week the Prime Minister speaks of Calibishie, and he has to be in Calibishie, he wants to be in Calibishie, he knows the issues that confront you. So we'll be doing that. And he always puts Calibishie in the forefront of the discussion because we know the importance of agriculture and your contribution as a Calibishie community to agricultural development. You have benefited, some of the investments, and the Minister will speak more to that. We made investment in tissue culture, and a number of the farmers of Calibishie benefited from that program. However, Black Sigatoka is very persistent, and so we must continue to try to eradicate this problem, this disease. I am not sure we will ever be able to totally eradicate it, but to better manage it. And a little later, I dare say the Honorable Drigo will speak to that. But a number of farmers in this community were part of this program. This community has also benefited from the potato horticulture program, particularly in terms of producing potatoes. And I think a lot of the farmers here have done well, and the season is on again, and have made certain requests. One of these requests is for a tiller, and we have some good news for you in terms of this tiller. The tillers are right here. 2 tillers are right here in this community, and they are stored at this time at the home of Dealers Warrington, because we do not want you just yet to use the tillers. We will be training 2 people that can use the tillers, because you want to make maximum use of these tillers. You want to ensure that it remains functional. So you do not want to just put it in the hands of everybody, but we will train 2 people, and they will be able to provide the services to you with these tillers. But the good news is the tillers are already in your community to benefit the farmers of this community. We also signed a contract in terms of agriculture. We signed a contract, you would have known, sometime last year for the Middle Ridge Feeder Road. But the company nationwide who got this contract has a number of other roads to do. So currently they are working in the Grand Fond area in the east. I think they have 2 or 3 roads in the east, 3 roads in the east. So that didn't make sense to be in the east and be in the north at the same time. So we formed part of what they call Lot 2. So we will be in the second phase of their implementation of that project. And the target date, or the targeted time for this project will be in April. It will be, the length of road to be built is 7.2 kilometers at a cost of 460,000 euro, or approximately 2 million EC dollars. So that is the amount of money that will be spent to do the Middle Ridge feeder road. And as I said, work is scheduled to start in April. So Nationwide Concrete Supplies Limited from St. Lucia was the company who won this bid. I am hoping when they come, and I've been in touch with them, reminding them that we would like our people as much as possible to be employed. Another, when we spoke to farmers, we know that you have an issue regarding packaging material, and since you brought this to our attention, we've been trying our best to see that packaging materials will be available. And just Friday, Honorable Jono gave me the good news that these materials are being procured. They are here right now. They are here right now. So, and the intention is to ensure that you can get the packaging materials that you need. In terms of community roads and bridges infrastructure, $308,000 have been spent in the constituency, in the 3 villages, in terms of small community projects, community roads. And one of the roads that was constructed was in Dibik, the completion of the Resource Center Road. And we also did some repairs to address, or we used some of the money to address a drainage issue in Dibik as well. And some repairs were done to the Middle Ridge Road. But we have even, in addition, another $300,000 now sits at the various village council, and they are about to undertake another set of small community projects. And this includes $100,000 that is at the Calibishie Village Council, and I know last week they had the engineer there, and they're about to start works on the back drip, phase 2 of the back drip. So you have $100,000 going to this back drip. But even greater news, the Prime Minister has just approved over $900,000 for village roads in my constituency, in our constituency. This forms part of government's village road enhancement program. So almost $1 million is going to be spent in this constituency for the construction of village roads. And this will actually, we have the estimates of approximately $2 million to be spent in the constituency, but we are phasing it. So for the first phase, we are going, 900,000 plus is already approved and will be disbursed shortly to the various, will be disbursed shortly to undertake these roads. For the first step to be done, it will include Quet Coco Drain, Quet Coco Road Phase 1, the road opposite, there's a ring road opposite, almost opposite the resource center. A little work was done on it during Community Day of Service. So the road is going to be done completely, concrete pavement, and all of the little roads as well, which was started during Community Day of Service, will also be done. So from this $900,000, more than $300,000 will be spent in Calibishie. So it's already approved, and we would hope that this is going to, and we expect it to, we are expecting to engage a number of contractors in this community, so creating employment. So you will have these roads for improved access to your homes, for improved flow of traffic, but it will also be creating employment for a number of people in Calibishie. So very shortly, within the next 2 months or so, we will have these roads begin construction. The The government of Dominica, and also I didn't mention also the John Baptist Ridge Road. There will be some repairs work on the John Baptist Ridge Road as part of this first set of roads to be done. We have also been focusing, the government, as you know, has a pit elimination program, and this has been a major issue in Calibishie. Actually, when we did the survey of people with pit latrine or no washroom, people in need of washrooms, it was as many as 136. So far, for the entire constituency, for the last few months, we were able to complete 39 washrooms in the constituency, and there were about 15 of them done in Calibishie. We started by focusing more on the senior people. You will appreciate, you know, you're a senior person, you probably not even well enough to go outside, but whether it's rain, sun, storm, you may have to find yourself trotting outside into the pit latrine. So we started by helping a number of the more senior people, a number of the more housebound people, and a few single mothers. But better news still, 50 washrooms, 50 other washrooms have been approved specifically for Calibishie. And the money is already, we are just awaiting the treasury to send the money to the village council. It's approved. It was on the system when I checked last week, because I wanted to be able to tell you that the money reached the council, but I've been told by next week the money should be at the village council for construction of 50 washrooms in Calibishie. Again, this should provide, we're expecting that to provide employment for at least 6 contractors and other people that would be working with them. So again, it will help to improve the quality of life of our people, and you know, ensure that our people can live a life of dignity, because we all know what it is being out there in a pit latrine. So it's an issue that affects families, but it's an issue that can affect the environment as well. And we are happy to report that the lives of 50 people in Calibishie will be improved. And further, the Prime Minister has said that hopefully by the end of 2017 we should be able to knock off all pit latrines in Dominica. So hopefully after this 50, we will be able to do the other washrooms in Calibishie before the end of 2017. Another issue we know of that over a few years that you've been seeking to address, that you often ask about, is the school right here, the Calibishie Primary School. And I'm not sure if, well, Teacher Tedina at the back would tell you that just on Friday we had a meeting with Public Works, and the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of Education, where they presented the designs, the preliminary designs for the school. So this year budget provided money to do the designs, and next we will expect them to do the engineering designs. And so hopefully when we do the next budget, we can provide the resources to begin to look at the construction of the school. And it was very well received by the parent, the PTA who was there, the staff, and some other stakeholders, where the presentation was made. So it's going to be, based on the designs, once it's constructed, it's going to be a high-class school. I was even telling the teachers that now you may have to come with your three-piece suit to the school. So it's something worth waiting for, and it's coming. Another issue is unemployment continues to be an issue in all communities in Dominica, but we have begun addressing, we we are attempting to ensure that we do not have young people unemployed, cannot provide for themselves. And the National Employment Program has assisted us in employing people who would ordinarily not be engaged. And not only are they able to earn, to take care of their families, but they are able to contribute to the development of their community. You would have seen that we have the community, one aspect of that program is the community cleanup and beautification. And I'm sure you will all agree with me that there has been marked improvement in the environment with the National Employment Program Community Beautification Team. And also, not only that, the National Employment Program also employs the beach patrols that seeks to ensure that our tourists are secure, because Calibishie, one of the other bases of your economy is tourism, and we have to do everything in our power to ensure that our tourism activities remain and our tourists remain protected. So under the National Employment Program, again, we have a set of young people who are engaged as beach patrols. And so out of the 89 people in the constituency on the net, there are 31 villagers of Calibishie. And we continue to take action to get our young people engaged. And we have coming up a training in poultry, targeting some young people within the constituency. And hopefully, well, there are 2 or 3 such young men who will be coming from Calibishie. This program is expected to start in March, and it will be a partnership program between the Ministry of National Employment and Trade and my own Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Development, and myself as PAR rep under my constituency empowerment program. I have made available $20,000 that will go towards this program. So we do think we are taking action to try to engage our young people. And one of the commitments that the Prime Minister has made and asked me to speak to here is the provision of $100,000 that will seek to speak to the young men who may find themselves who are unemployed and find themselves often on the blocks. So I'll be speaking to these young men, calling them to a meeting. But those of you who are here, or those who are not here, I would want you to pass the message that soon from now, I'll be calling a meeting with all of the unengaged young men. But sometimes we refer to them the guys on the blocks, that we have $100,000 targeting them to get them gainfully engaged. I forget to say the good news for the farmers. There's also an approved $50,000 for the farmers of this community, and it will be made available through the farmers group, $50,000. Because not long ago, I had a meeting with small business people, and I left some forms at the tourism office for the small business people. And so far, I have 69 applications for small business and 104 applications from farmers. But I will deal with that separately, in that, you know, we often give support, and I hope again the Minister of Agriculture will speak to that. We often provide fertilizer, subsidized fertilizer to the farmers, through the farmers group, so this will continue. So in that regard, I can deal with the farmers, but there are other inputs that the farmers often need. And so $50,000 will be made available to the farmers group for the farming community, for the farmers, and $100,000 for the young men, targeting the young men who are unemployed on the block, and for the 69 people who have applied and maybe a few others. $300,000 has been approved as well for small businesses in Calibishie. So I already have the list that will. So this is to a tune of $450,000 that will be available for the productive sectors in Calibishie very shortly. So as early as next week, I've started compiling the information we gathered with a young lady that is working with me. And as early as next week, I will be making the submission for these monies so that they can be approved and made available within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. So these are some of the programs, and these are some of the programs that we are implementing currently. We know there are other challenges. We continue to support the housing program is ongoing, but because we've been trying to knock out this washroom, pit latrine, the housing program has not really fully taken place. The housing program will continue sometime later this year, although based on my visits, particularly to senior people, I have tried for my constituency empowerment program to address some of the people with leaking roof, dilapidated houses, and so on. So in between we are doing some, but the full-fledged housing assistance program will come on stream sometime later this year. We are currently doing our data collection. We'll be going around, not only I, but some of the young people, my secretary and others working with me, to check with you what are some of your housing needs with a view to addressing these in the near future. And this government continues to be a caring government, touching the lives of ordinary people, and quite a number of our elderly 70+ people are receiving their $300 that assist you to be able to pay your little light bill, to be able to pay your little water bill, and have a little food that you can eat. We know that the senior people of our communities have worked very hard, and particularly Calibishie being an agricultural-based country. Many of you have worked very hard, but have not been able to benefit from the Social Security scheme. And that is why the government has put in place this $300 to our people, our grown-ups who have worked hard to ensure that we are living today in a society of peace and comfort. And you cannot just forget the contributions of our senior people to this country. And so we have quite a number of our people benefiting from the 70+ scheme. And we also give support to education in several ways: school books, school uniform, transportation to and from school. But this term, very recently, we made available a small stipend. We made available a small stipend of $150 a month per month for the students who are attending the Dominica State College. I've been going up and down for years. I didn't even realize in 16 years I've been living Paixbouche and going to Roseau, back to Bocassé. So I know the cost of going up and down to Roseau. So I know the cost on families sending their child to the Dominica State College. When I estimate, you must, as parents, must be spending at least $20 daily to get the children to Dominica State College. And so we I approached the Prime Minister, and he assisted me because I feel the plight of our parents, and we know how education is important to the development of your children and to the development of society.
Let me first of all thank your Parliamentary Representative for inviting me to share with you at this meeting. It's not the first time she has invited me to share at meetings in Calibishie. About 3 weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, we were here and we met with the farmers group. We have had the opportunity to visit the field from time to time to see what the farmers are doing, especially up on this Miggery Road area. And about 3 weeks ago, or just last week, Mr. Douglas and I were in Mountain Granby, where we met with the community as part of the series of meetings that we are having with the Dominican population across the island. Let me say that I'm very happy to be here to share with you in more detail some of the activities within the Ministry of Agriculture, which is geared towards your benefit. We fully recognize Calibishie as one of the pillars of the agricultural sector in Dominica. We know the contribution that you have made in the past, and we know your commitment to agriculture. These are more challenging times. As your panel said, we are facing much steeper competition out there, and we have always ensured that whatever contribution government is making to the sector, Calibishie gets its fair share of the benefit. I want you to know that your parliamentary representative is always at me discussing Calibishie. As a matter of fact, the tillers that we now have in Calibishie, from the time Miss Paul got to know, tillers were coming in. Every week she asked me, when are the tillers getting here? Calibishie need to get its tillers. And so I had to be able to keep her informed until eventually I let her know that the tillers are here. The tillers had to be mounted up before they were dispatched. And we're happy that we have sent you your tillers here in Calibishie, which I may mention again later. But I want to start my contribution by first speaking of the $10 million facility at the Aid Bank, which government in its 2016-17 budget placed at the Aid Bank for on-lending to our farmers, and to which I know some persons have been saying to themselves, that is not for me, Makitapi and Ashasahar. And some farmers has not even approached the Aid Bank to attempt to get some of the funds to assist them in the farming. In the past, government instituted a structure in the Ministry of Agriculture called the Agriculture Investment Unit, the AIU. And government gave the AIU some $2 million for on-lending to farmers, which was supposed to be a revolving program where the farmers would get some funds, assist them in building their farms, and they would have to repay these funds with no interest whatsoever, so that other farmers who may need some support can go to the AIU within the ministry and get some of those funds. But as you know, there is an attitude towards what is government in our country. Once it's government thing, some people believe it has to be free. And they do not all feel the commitment and the desire to pay back. So a number of farmers, I hope none of Calibishie farmers did that, a number of farmers went to the AIU, got funds for agriculture, did not invest in agriculture. Or for those who invested in agriculture, some of them did have some challenges in their ability to pay it back, but quite a few of the farmers never paid back a cent. So I have a list of farmers at the ministry who benefited from the AIU and never paid back. Some of these farmers bought their ticket the next morning after they got the first installment of funds and traveled and so on. So we had this farmers themselves really abusing that service within the ministry, and the program was not as successful as it needed to be. And I can assure you, the AIU has been going to those farmers, asking them to come in, let's talk, let's see how we can reorganize the structure of your payment and so on. Some farmers came to the ministry and are paying back, and some farmers could not be bothered. Say that you government, and you know, say that you, they think it's their money, and so on. So government decided that the farming sector is too important to this country, and government has to ensure that apart from all of the other little things we are doing, farmers certainly have access to funds. So at the last budget, $10 million was placed at the aid bank at a sub 3% interest with 6-month grace period. And I have seen the list. Quite a few farmers has been engaging the aid bank to get their share of that funds, but not enough farmers are going to the aid bank to access these funds. And ladies and gentlemen, the funds are placed in the bank because we want to ensure that the farmers benefit from these funds, they take it seriously, they invest in their farms, and they pay back their soft loan. So therefore, when you go to the bank and you make an application, the bank will ask you certain questions because they want to know that you are serious, you are bona fide farmer, you've been farming for the past, some of you for 30 years, some of you for 20 years, and some of you are young persons who just want to go into farming at this time. So therefore, there must be a structured program that you are entering into with the bank. However, your extension office in your area is supposed to assist you in preparing the document stating that yes, this person has been involved in farming for the past 10 years, or this person has just decided to go into farming, but this is what the person is coming with. That's a proposal. They know that they're going into pork for the, let's say for the abattoir or whatever the case may be, or they are targeting a particular market and they're going into taniers, they're going into yams, they're going into whatever for a particular market. And one of the advantages of this $10 million facility is that it is catering for the small farmer who only needs 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, 8,000, 9,000. And it's catering for the larger farmer who has a serious commercial business where he's looking at going into 4 and 5 acres of a particular product, and he's going to need 20,000, 40,000, he's going into fishing, therefore he needs a new engine of 18,000 and a boat of maybe 19,000, so therefore he's looking for $45,000 to go into fishing, and therefore he goes to the bank and the bank prepares with him, answers his questions, and eventually have access to this loan, with support at all time from the Ministry of Agriculture. So if you're going into poultry, whatever, you have the livestock units to assist you. If you're going into fishing, you have the fisheries division to assist you. And all the departments in the ministry, they're ready. If you're going into production of yams and dashing and whatever the case may be, you have the Division of Agriculture to assist you through it all, to ensure that you, that bona fide farmer, gets a soft loan to assist himself. Now, when this project was conceived, this program, at Cabinet, I remember quite vividly, the Cabinet, in particular the Prime Minister, was thinking of the cost of labor, the cost of input, the cost of dealing with all the pests and diseases that we have right now in the sector. And we realized that our farmers cannot do it alone, especially for the farmers who are of age, who have worked tirelessly over the years and still interested in maintaining their farm. And the cost of farm labor is so high. So therefore, we were establishing the facility. So I'm saying to a farmer who has his mixed farming of yams and his dashing and his plantain and his potatoes and his pumpkin. You may not need 40,000, you may not need 100,000, but you only need 5,000 to assist you with labor and imports. Because labor is very high. You can go to the aid bank, negotiate a loan for $4,000 with the support from your extension officer demonstrating that you are a serious farmer. The production that you have could be part of your security for that loan and so on. And you can leave the aid bank with $6,000, $7,000 to assist you in paying your labor, purchase your inputs and your relevant chemical to keep your holding going. So these funds are not there only for large commercial farmers. It was designed for you. I said to a community where they do a lot of cucumbers a couple of weeks ago, cucumber is 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks you can start selling cucumbers. And the farmer has a 6-month grace period for a small loan. And we want cucumbers more now when Mr. Douglas and I will share more with you on that, because we are getting market for vegetables, serious market for vegetables. So you could go to the aid bank, get a soft loan because you're interested in vegetables, and when that 6-month grace period is up, you have all the funds you need to pay back the loan, and you can even start paying before the 6 months because you don't have to wait for the grace period to be over before you start paying. So I want farmers, individual farmers, to think of themselves and their holding, what they are involved in, and tell themselves, how can I benefit from that facility? Forget about all the noise that you hear out there and so on. There will always be noise. But between while the noise is going on, you as an individual farmer must think of yourselves and your future as a farmer, where you are heading, and the ministry will assist you in working with the bank to ensure that you, the hard-working Calibishie farmer, benefit from this $10 million facility at the aid bank. So I trust that you, the Calibishie farmers, are taking advantage of this opportunity. We are willing to discuss with you the challenges that you face in having access to these funds. The funds is available, but at the end of the day, you are dealing with a bank, and all bank has their rules and so on. So there are certainly going to be some structures that are in place which you will have to adhere to so that you can have access to these funds. And one of the serious business aspect of it is that you've taken the loan from the bank, you will have to pay back the loan so that other farmers can benefit from that facility. But once you are serious, I can assure you, we in the Ministry of Agriculture will assist you to ensure that you benefit from this facility. The other area that I want to share with you, and Ms. Paul gave you some information on it, but I intend to go into more details, is the question of the banana combining measures, BAM feeder routes. And we've spoken about these feeder routes for quite some time now. But I want you to know that when the government is about to undertake a project, especially if it is being funded by overseas agencies, each of these countries or group of countries have their own procurement rules. They have their structures by which they operate. And we, as a government, we have to respect all of these structures. And the EU, having made this fund available to us for the feeder roads as part of the BAM program, because the fertilizers that we've been giving is part of the BAM program as well, and schools are benefiting from the BAM program. So there are several components of the BAM program. But I will spend this contribution now on the feeder roads. There are 3 lots, what they call lots, in the BAM feeder road implementation program. There's lot 1, lot 2, and lot 3. So the lot that covers your Middle Ridge feeder road is part of lot 2, as Ms. Paul explained. But I will just share with you all of the roads that are part of lot 2, which Middle Ridge feeder road is part of. And as I told you earlier, nationwide, Mobile Concrete Supply Limited of St. Lucia is the company implementing Lot 2. Now I know right away somebody is saying, why St. Lucia? The EU's procurement rule is open to all countries benefiting from the EU structure. So anybody in the Caribbean, especially in the Caribbean, could bid for a project under the EU federal program. One of the sad stories that we have in this country is that our contractors, they always outbid themselves for projects that is funded by the regional structures. I had a classic example recently in the Ministry of Agriculture. The Japanese were here and they were placing fads, that is, to do fishing in Dominica waters. So they were here, they had several projects undertaken, and one of the, what they call the mega fad, had to be installed on the east coast, because that is where they could find the depth that they were looking for to place this fad. They needed a company with a badge to transport this fad to the location. And a company in St. Lucia again was able to bid lower than all the companies in Dominica with badges, and they were able to leave St. Lucia with their badge. They came to Dominica, they did the project, and went back to St. Lucia with a profit, and they were still lower than all of the companies who entered the bid in Dominica. This is what we face. So the companies who bid on the feeder roads in Dominica, and because it was an EU sponsored project, so therefore the Ministry of Government had nothing to do with who gets the contract. As it turned out, a Matley company, a solution company, and only one small Dominican company got to do one road, but all of our companies locally who bid for the implementation of the Bam feeder road were all bid. And then a solution company, they won the bid to implement the road in Mango Water Wesley, Middle Ridge Calibishie, Mountain Capuchin, and still in the southeast as well, Bois-Bellevue, Freyal River Civic, and Tigron. So that company got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 or 7 roads to be constructed. And the cost of your road in Middle Ridge alone, which is 7.24 kilometers, is almost $2 million. So this is where we are now as we speak. The company has been on island, and that is Nationwide Mobile Concrete Supplies. They've been working. They've completed the Mountain Capuchin Road. They've completed that road. They're working on the Tigron Freyal Bois-Bellevue Road as we speak, and they intend to come to Calibishie by the first week of April to start your feeder road for you. So even though you are not seeing much work going on your feeder road, rest assured that the company responsible for your road has several projects across the island, and hopefully they will be here in April. One of the advantages that we have is that we're in dry season, so it will be a good time for us to get a very good project. While your partner will try her best to ensure that some of the locals get employment, but she does not have control over a private contractor. So I want to make it clear to you that she will do her best, and she will ensure that she gets some work for quite a few of you locally, but it's an independent contractor with their staffing and so on. So therefore she does not have that total control. What she will have control over is all of the village roads that she's going to build and so on and so on and so on. That she will be able to have control over it. But when it comes to the feeder road of this $2 million, she will get some jobs for you, but she will not get as much as she would like, because she has no control over a private contractor, a solution company, which is implementing a project for the European Union in Dominica. Okay, so don't put too much pressure on your partner for the jobs on that road. But rest assured, all of you, the hardworking farmers of Middle Ridge, that your road is definitely on stream. Your road is coming, and hopefully by April, the company will be able to come up to this area and start your bridge. And since we are in this area, we're talking about roads and bridges, I want you to know that one of the decisions that was taken after Erica is a lot of the BAM funds was diverted into feeder roads because of the pumping that we took from Erica. And one of the projects that was included in the BAM program was the construction of the Vauxhall Bridge. As you know, that bridge was washed away by tropical storm Erica. And although it's not in your area, but that's part of the farming belt, so some of you will have interest in getting to know that the Vauxhall Bridge in Marigot is nearing completion, and all they're going to be doing very soon is to do the backfilling of the wing wall and so on, and very soon vehicles will be able to pass in on that bridge. And I will always speak of what's going on in Marigot wherever I speak, because if you're not careful, they will give you the impression that nothing is happening for the Marigot area, and we just forget Marigot and so on and so on and so on. But this bridge is one of the first bridges being constructed, farm access bridge being constructed, coming out of Erica for the hardworking farmers of Marigot. The other area that I need to share with you is the whole question of fertilizer. I know that farm input is expensive, and you are always happy when your government is able to assist you with fertilizer. Under the banner company measures ban, again, we procured quite a bit of fertilizer, over 40,000 bags of fertilizer. And we ensured that free fall through the Ministry of Agriculture structures, and this fertilizer was distributed by the extension offices of the Ministry of Agriculture across the island. We've been assisting farmers with fertilizer, and the list of farmers who benefit from the bank of fertilizer is developed by the Ministry of Agriculture itself. I'm talking about the extension staff of the Ministry of Agriculture. They decide on the number of farmers to benefit from those programs, and we've been giving fertilizer out of this program periodically. The last set of fertilizer we gave was after Matthew in November. The ministry gave out some fertilizer, again coordinated by the extension offices, because this is fertilizer out of the Banner Company Main Measures Program, of which we have to ensure that the proper report is given to the EU on how this fertilizer will manage. But out of that fertilizer, we were supposed to establish a revolving fund project where we will sell fertilizer to farmers. The funds will go into a special fund, and we will purchase fertilizer again and continue selling to the farmers. And these farmers has been able to procure this fertilizer at $45 per bag. So I hope the Calibishie farmers, you have been benefiting from this fertilizer, and then this fertilizer being sold in Portsmouth at $45 a bag. It has been on for about a month now. So for those of you farmers from the Calibishie area who have not benefited from that program, or probably did not know about it, although it was placed on the radio, you can go to Portsmouth and you can purchase fertilizer as you speak at $45 a bag, and that is coming out of the Banner Company Measures Revolving Fund Program for fertilizers. So I trust that for those of you who may not have known, you can go to Portsmouth at 1 mile and purchase your fertilizer at $45 a bag, and your oils at $20 a gallon. I just want to say to you that the fertilizer coming out of the Kingdom of Morocco is a gift from the government and people of Morocco to the government and people of Dominica. And therefore, whenever these fertilizers arrive, we as a government will ensure that you, the farmers of Calibishie, who forms part of the core of maintaining the agricultural sector, will benefit from this fertilizer. So we're expecting a consignment by the end of the month to early March, and that is the big bags of fertilizer, the 100 pound bags, and your parent will represent you handsomely and assure you of that, and we will ensure that a proper consignment of that fertilizer comes to Calibishie for the Calibishie farmers. You will be asked to pay a small contribution, and that's why I'm so happy about the Calibishie Farmers Group. And the Calibishie farmers, those of you who are not part of the Calibishie Farmers Group, you should register with the Calibishie Farmers Group. You heard your parent said some $50,000 is going towards the group. That's because when you have a group structure, you have better representation. If everybody is fighting for themselves, pulling in, pulling there, it can't work. But if somebody, a core person, the executive of the group, is representing you as a group, you will benefit more. So therefore, for those of you farmers here who are not part of the group, who is saying, Sase bagayo, e bagayo tooth. So please register with the Calibishie Farmers Group, support the Calibishie Farmers Group, get engaged in the discussion that the Farmers Group is undertaking, and make your contribution as a group so that you can benefit from this group. Because it makes it easier for us when the benefits like these fertilizers are here, that we can channel it through a group. And then when the group gets the contribution of, in my case, in the Paixbouche area, $20 a bag. That's the contribution they make for the fertilizer that comes from Morocco. And you'll be surprised to know they use that monies that they make out of that $20 a bag to purchase weedicides and all kind of thing, and help themselves and so on. Because they manage that funds, not me. Because they have a group. I was so happy the way the ladies, only ladies from Budo, took charge of this funds and managing it and ensuring that the farmers benefit from it in the small community of Budo. So therefore, I want you to ensure that you register with the farmers group, and rest assured that when this fertilizer gets here, and it's on its way, it should be here by month end to early March, you, the farmers, will benefit from this fertilizer. Again, as your mother spoke again, she spoke of the tillers. The tillers are here. 2 tillers are in Calibishie. One of the areas where the ministry has suffered is the use of equipment given to farmers. Once you have a piece of equipment and it's on one farm today, the other one tomorrow, the other one the other time, you find, well, the mixtures are different, the oil mixtures are different, and the operation of it is different, and within a shake, the machine breaks down. So we are about to benefit handsomely from several programs, but we have to structure this thing well. And if it's the 2 persons who are trained to use the equipment, I do not want you saying, I can do my thing, let me have the equipment. I want you to work with that farmer, supervise what he's doing for you, and ensure that he delivers the type of finishing that you want. But let whoever is assigned to operate the equipment, let them be that person to do that. And you may be asked for a little payment on service charge or something, but that's not nothing. But we want this equipment to last us, because as we speak, the ministry bought 4 mist blowers of its own to assist farmers. We're expecting about 12 more from the BAM program, which will be here very soon. One of these whistleblowers is already in the Calibishie area. We want this equipment to last us because we are not sure where this kind of money is going to come again to assist us in the farming sector. So we want to make sure that we maintain it well, we know where it is, and that is why the farmers group is so important. Because if we want to give the farmers group of Calibishie free of these whistleblowers, we want to know that the group is maintaining it, the group has it in charge. Somebody knows where it is. Somebody knows it's 2 days you had before. Don't keep it for 4 and 5 days or 3 weeks. This is your 2 days, make use of it and get it back to its storeroom so that the person who has to get it on Friday morning can get it on time. This is how we're going to operate with anything that we're giving you, especially where the ministry is contributing it to you. We want you to know that it's not yours. It belongs to a program, it's for all of you. And therefore you will use it properly, use it wisely, and you bring it back to its, you take it back to its location so that the next person who is enlisted to use that piece of equipment can get it, and all farmers can benefit. But you will benefit more if you are part of the group structure. We also purchased for the ministry an excavator because we realize that when disaster strikes and all our roads are blocked, first of all, attention has to be given to main roads and so on. But we have to wait too long before we can assist farmers in clearing their farm access road. So we have an excavator at the ministry. This week, persons were trained by the manufacturers. They sent their people down to Dominica to train at least 2 or 3 persons, maybe even more too, as to how to manage and operate the equipment. And it's going to be available for our farmers. We intend to take the excavator to particular locations over a period of time. For instance, if we were to bring it to Calibishie, we will decide if it spends 2 weeks in Calibishie, just assisting farmers in clearing their farm access. Because I know, for instance, we have the project Middle Ridge is going to be done, but there are still farmers who are connected to Middle Ridge who has difficulty in moving into their farms, directly into their farms. So this piece of equipment will eventually come to Calibishie. We will decide for the ministry, there is a structure being put in place as to how we're going to use it, and it will spend some time just assisting farmers in clearing access to their farm roads and so on, and then we'll move to another community, probably spend another month or a couple of weeks again, assisting farmers clearing the access. But I have a warning for you. When we assist you with clearing this road, when we assist you with building Middle Ridge, the maintenance of the road for the most part must be yours. Because we can't come and see what happens in the Middle Ridge every day, you know. And if you allow coconut branches and the young coconuts to just grow and block the drains, one of the most solid things to grow in a drain is a young coconut tree. Once it starts making roots and it binds itself, no water can pull it out of the drain. And you know what happens? The water just go onto the road and just cut your road and damage all your road. If you have a little road going into your garden, outside of the main road, with tarish, and you're not maintaining it, you will not have a road after rainy season. Rain will wash the tarish, especially if water gets on that road, heavy water, it's just cutting the road in pieces. And next thing you know, you have tracks, another road. So we expect you, the farmer, to take charge of your road. When I used to go there with my father years ago, as he going up chopping, cutting something, he finds colors from home, and on his way up, as he's going up, he's clearing, and so on. And if you do that regularly, your road will always be clear. Because we cannot afford it. It's very costly. It's $400 and something an hour to rent any equipment to send them to clear roads. One of the things we've been trying to do is to do some shoulder blading for you in your main farm access road with those bobcats and so on. But that costs money. After we've done it, take charge of the road leading to your farm. It's like taking charge of the road leading to your home. Because your farm, that's where your livelihood is. Your home, that's where you live. But your farm, that's where you make your living. So therefore, you have to take charge of the road and clear. As going up, clear. Keep your drains clear. Don't leave it for government or for the ministry, because we have other things to do. So once you benefited from all of this this help that we're talking about. I want you to help yourselves as well, and by helping yourself, you're also helping us. My counterpart will speak a bit more about the Matnik initiative, but I want to share with you that and he will go also more in detail in the use of the parking houses, but we went to Matnik sometime last year, and we met with the top supermarket chain owner, and that is the Ministry of Agriculture and Trade, and I'm very happy with all of the work that the Ministry of Agriculture and Trade, we've been doing a lot of work together. We are meeting sometimes 2-3 times a month to look at agriculture and how we can assist, and we have agriculture, trade and commerce, Ms. Paul, Mr. Douglas and I in all of those meetings, discussing agriculture, discussing marketing, discussing trade, discussing quality, how we can improve the quality of our product. We are very much occupied with the agricultural sector, I can assure you. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to have a meeting last week that we could not have had. That's how important, and we will have it this week. Because we must meet to continue discussing agriculture. As we invest in agriculture for you, we know the challenges that we face. We are discussing how best we can assist to cushion the effect for you. Because, my dear people, there are competition out there. We are competing with outside markets. The Dominican Republic, because we are in the same terrain, they are bringing in all the products that they can down south now to our islands. And they are in the Barbados market, they are in the Antigua market, they are in the Trinidad market, they are in the St. Kitts market, they are in the all of the island chain that we are bringing in supplies as we speak. The Dominican Republic is also in those markets. And they are bringing quality. They are doing the right packaging. They are doing the right labeling. They are putting the right weight into the boxes. And that is why we are encouraging farmers to go through the pack houses now for the export of their products, so that they can have them well cleaned and properly packaged with the accurate weight in the boxes. No more bulging of boxes going out to plantain and so on. I remember visiting the market in Antigua sometime early last year. And when I saw our plantains on the Antigua market, you would not even want to cook some of this plantain at your home because of how beat up the plantain is. And when a plantain is beat up, it gets black. Everybody agree with me? And that's because some of the exporters were overloading the boxes, they were badly handling the fruits, they were putting them in the keel of those boats and so on, and they had a system of one man down and another man catching up there, and you send up there and catch it. And that's how our products were being handled for the most part over the years and so on. And then here comes the Dominican Republic coming in this package size boxes with the right weight and put competition in our skin. The good thing about it is that for the entire Caribbean, Dominica still has the best product, best tasting product. All our products are more succulent, they're sweeter. So therefore, they want product coming out of Dominica. The Matnik people, they want their product to come from Dominica. Because the Matnik people, they are here every week. And they know we do not use as much chemical as the other countries. They know for the most part our products are organically grown. And so on. So they know that. And they want stuff from Dominica. But you have what you call EU rules that we have to meet standards for importing into Matnik. We have to meet it, and I'm happy that we are working on it. Government is making funds available so that the boat owners can do what they call retrofitting of their boats to bring their boat to a certain standard so they can export these products. And as I was telling you about the Matnik initiative, Matnik people, they are saying to us they're ready for our yams, our dashi, our tanya, our potatoes, our cucumbers, and something else again. Our pineapples. They want our product, but you will be part of a program. And that's why the farmers group again is so important. We're waiting, and I know we have some of the prizes for the price that the Matnik wants to give us. So we can come back to you and say to you, Matnik is saying that For the yams, this is the price that we have per pound. And you, the farmer, will decide if you want to plant for that market. Once we've done that, you'll be entered into a contract with the packing house. And once you're entered into the contract with the packing house, we will assist you in getting the quality that we want. It means that your planting style will have to change because there's going to be the right spacing to give you the right size, because the market will demand a particular product and we have to deliver it. Having said that, you, the farmers, you've killed a lot of markets that we've gotten overseas in the past, whereby you have entered into a program to produce for a particular market. You've gotten assistance, and I'm not saying Calibishie will name begin to the entire country when I make those points. You've gotten assistance for a structure. You intended to produce for a particular market. When your crop is ready, you sell everything to the highest bidder. So therefore, you were supposed to sell, let's say, to the excel maybe at 90 cents a pound. And here comes a Huckster who's giving you $1.20. And you decide, well, you know something, $1.20, I can't let that pass me by. And instead of selling to the program that you planted for, you sold it to the Hucksters for maybe 10 cents more, or something, maybe 20 cents more. And the market, which was requiring one container of a particular commodity per fortnight or per week, cannot supply anymore. And I can assure you, this gentleman, the owner of this market in Matley, he gave us a warning. He said, gentlemen, I have to supply for my market every week. So therefore, if you are entering into an agreement with me, you must assure me that you can supply the product regularly. So if you go into a contract for any of the commodities that we are referring to for the market, and you do not meet your part of the bargain, there may be consequences for that. Because we have to start securing niche markets. We have to supply niche markets. And I can assure you, my dear people, if you decide to go and supply, let's say, yams or tanias for a particular market, which we have secured, you will not get as much as the houses will give. But if you can sell regularly, you will not have a problem in earning your income for your hard labor. So definitely we'll be coming back to you with the whole question of the Matley initiative, and we're hoping that for the group, and I also for the group, we will be able to assist you and so on. I know we've had our challenges with the bananas subsector. I was happy with the hard work done by you, the farmers of Calibishie, when we brought the plants and so on. And as you know, we had challenges with the marketing, we had challenges with the quality, we had challenges with the black cigar toka, and we have not given up. A couple of weeks ago, we met with a core group of farmers here in Calibishie, targeting the export markets, because Windfresh is back here to work with us so that we can get back on the urban market for bananas, because the regional market is technically flooded. Everybody's selling on the regional market now. St. Lucia is selling bananas to Antigua, and the list goes on. So therefore, for us to really succeed, for the farmers to really succeed, banana farmers in particular, we have to go back to the urban market. So we have, I think it's Mr. Telemark, is his name, whom we have employed as one of the monitoring officers for the ministry here in the Calibishie area. We have a core group of farmers. We met them a couple of weeks ago that we will be working with, looking at the prospect of going back on the urban market. I have been informed that another set of plantlets will be here by next week. We'll be expecting as early as Tuesday, so we can assist these farmers. When we had given the farmers the plantlets, we did assist them with fertilizers and quite a bit of support. We will assist these farmers again. That is the core group of farmers who are going to target the urban market. We will assist them again with the support that they need to get back on the urban market. We are rapidly preparing to establish the banana units so that all of the intricacies of bananas will be under one umbrella. We have already employed a coordinator in Mr. McIntyre, but we have not established the units. So very soon, Cabinet will ratify the paper establishing the unit, and then we will have all of the challenges that you face as a banana farmer being looked into by this special unit that we are establishing. Because remember, banana farmers, the ministry itself was not responsible for the banana sector in the past. They have been given all the support that they can, but we have come to the conclusion that we need to have a unit managing the banana subsector and planting subsector. So this unit will be established very soon, and they will work with you, and all of the staffing requirements will be in place, and you will get all the support you need, you the banana farmer, going forward. So then we will take care of the whole question of certification to prepare you so that we can get back onto the European market, and we will support you, the banana farmers. I know in 2016, yes, you've taken a pumpkin from the black seed poker. I see the dry season is coming in, and we're getting a little hold of it. I'm now better, but we will support you as much as we can, and I will not stop coming to Calibishie to meet the farmers. And I want to thank you for listening to me. I want to thank Ms. Paul for inviting me to Calibishie to share with you on this Carnival Sunday afternoon. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good afternoon to the wonderful people of Calibishie. It is always a pleasure for me to be in Calibishie. It's a community that I am very familiar with from youth, and I love being here. I have a lot of great friends who come from Calibishie from a long time, way back. Even as the Minister of Tourism, we started an initiative here called the community tourism aspect of the NEP National Employment Program, where we curbed the criminality on the beaches by implementing the beach patrols, and the guys are still on and doing a great job, and I'm very proud of what you're doing. I want you to keep it up, and there's one in your midst that I spoke to this afternoon, so I will deal with your issue when I get back to the office on Monday. I promise you that. I'll follow up on that. Okay, so we are here this afternoon to meet you, to meet the people, and we've been going around Dominica with a series of meetings because it is important for you to understand what we do. Sorry. Because at the end of the day, we are working for you. We are servants of the people. You are the shareholders of the company which is called the Commonwealth of Dominica. And so, from time to time, we must report to you on our activities and how we are working for you. You heard my colleagues this afternoon speak of a number of programs that we are now engaged with in Dominica. A number of social programs, from the NEP to the $300.70 and over non-pension grants, to the school transportation, school books, scholarships being given to the Dominica State College to go overseas in the region and internationally to study. In the hospital, the persons who are 70 and over are entitled, and 18 and under are entitled to free health care anywhere in Dominica, and a whole host of different social programs. The Minister of Agriculture have enunciated all of the assistance that we are giving in agriculture. And in your mind, you are probably wondering, how is it possible for the government of Dominica to be able to give back so much to the people at a time when we are hearing all around us in all countries, even in the region and further afield, that the world is still going through a terrible time. In Barbados just the other day, the government had to send home almost 3,000 public servants And I can tell you, but with the exception of Dominica, perhaps there is not one single new hotel that has been built in the OECS, maybe in the last 5 years. And that's because things are still tight in the world. But we continue to hold our end, we continue to manage the resources of the state. And you hear people make a big deal nowadays about economic citizenship program and the citizenship by investment program. This is nothing new. This is not a program that has been started or had been started by Roosevelt Skerrit and this government. This is a program that's on now for almost 20 years or more. We go back to 1983 when the program was started under Mary Eugenia Charles and the Freedom Party government at the time. Most of you all here in Calibishie, because Calibishie is a farming community, and you were involved in the production of bananas when we used to ship bananas to England with this. And we know that the not European Union, but Chiquita, Dole and Del Monte, which are big banana producing companies from the US, from the United States of America, took us to the World Court, the WTO, and said that it was unfair for our bananas to be entering England under preferential treatment. And so we lost that preferential treatment. We lost the case because the WTO said, the World Trade Organization said that all bananas have to enter Europe under the same conditions. One country couldn't have an advantage over another. And so we really lost the profitability that bananas had before that ruling. And so the Prime Minister at the time, Mary Eugenia Charles, came up with the Economic Citizenship Program. And the Economic Citizenship Program, essentially what it does is it gives investors from around the world, high net worth investors, we're talking about multi-millionaires and billionaires from around the world, the opportunity to invest in a project in Dominica. And as a result of that, you are entitled to citizenship. So Eugenia Charles started that program, and we remember the Layu River Hotel project that was started under Eugenia Charles, and that is how the project started. And it was UWP then, when they were in opposition, who criticized the program and criticized that project. And it was even, some of you may remember, when they were calling the Chinese who were doing the hotel at the time, ching chong, go home. That was the phrase at the time. But when they eventually came to power in 1995, and they end up in the kitchen and they start feeling the heat, and they had to run the country, and they had to pay civil servants salaries, which they were paying halfway through the next month. Remember when the month had 40 days? See, and when the computer used to break down. Since Roosevelt Skerrit get there, no computer never break down. All of a sudden, computers working well. And there were times when private businessmen had to borrow them money for them to be able to pay civil servants at the end of the month. That is why Edison James panicked. He was under so much pressure that although elections were constitutionally due in June of that year, he panicked and he got and watched the sun, and he called it in January. Remember when he watched the sun in Point Milan? I'm telling you all of that history for you to understand where we are today. So this citizenship by investment program that everybody wants, the opposition is making a big deal about, talking about the selling passports. It's not something that Roosevelt Skerrit get up on Friday morning in his bed and decide he have a program. That program existed under Freedom Party, and when United Workers Party came to power, although they said they would have scrapped the program, they even changed the program. So before, the investors used to have to come to Dominica and sit down before a panel, the Commissioner of Police, the Attorney General, and some other person, and their lawyer would present them to that panel to be interviewed. How did you hear about Dominica? Why are you interested in Dominica? Why would you want to invest in Dominica? That sort of thing. Questions, and in the process of their application. When Edison James come to power, he said, no, that's not necessary. All that shipping is not necessary. You can stay where you are and apply and I will send somebody and check you. You don't have to come to Dominica. So he changed the law, and he made it easier for the applicants around the world to stay where they are and even apply without coming to Dominica. That's some of the changes that Edison James made to the Citizenship by Investment program. He also changed the program so that there was a lady called Grace Tong, who was the promoter of the Lion River Hotel project. She was the one who had the money doing whatever she wanted to. Edison James was not the Attorney General. He was not the Minister of Finance in his government, yet he was the one, together with Grace Tong, who controlled the escrow account where all the money was. So when we came to power in 2000, the whole thing was in a mess. The treasury was empty. Dominica was broke. We met a broken country. That's what we met. And you all remember that the government had to go around very much like what we're doing today in that type of meeting, holding meetings, explaining to people the situation in the country, asking public servants to take a 5% reduction in their salary. Remember the austerity program and the austerity measures, because the country was at its knees. For every dollar government was generating, we needed $1.50, and we didn't know where the 50 cents was coming from. That in other words, what is something called, the phrase called debt to GDP ratio. Our debt in relation to what the country was producing, our domestic product, or gross domestic product, was 150%. In other words, you were in the red. You were at the point of cooling. It is a shock. If Dominica was a shock, that shock would cool it and close the shop down. And that is what we met on the United Workers' Party. And we sat down, we explained to the people the situation, and we start tightening up on the program. We start tightening up on the Citizenship by Investment program. Today, that program is one of the best programs around the world. And there are about 20 other countries, not Dominica alone, that has an economic citizenship program. We call ours Citizenship by Investment program. But the United States of America has a citizenship program called the EB-5 program, where an investor from around the world can invest $5 million and they're entitled to the United States of America citizenship. England has a program, Canada has a program, Australia has a program, Malta has a program, Spain has a program, citizenship program. Even here in the Caribbean, St. Kitts and Nevis have a citizenship by investment program. Antigua has a program. Grenada just started. St. Lucia, because St. Lucia is under some serious economic issues right now, they are thinking about starting a program. But we just happen to be the best. We are generating millions from our program, and that is why we are able to do all of the things we are able to do for you. But the program is tight. We run a tight ship. Nobody can obtain Dominican citizenship without a due diligence being done on you. And a due diligence basically is there. We are working with about 5 international companies around the world. Some of them in America, one of them in Canada, and the others in Europe. And every applicant who applies, every investor who applies under the Citizenship by Investment program, there is what is called a due diligence has to be done on them. So very much like if you in Dominica right now, you in Calibishie want a police record, you have to go to the CIE department or you have to go to the Calibishie police station. So that is very much like that due diligence. And a background check is done on every applicant from the time they were born up to present. Who their father was, who their mother was, where they live, where they went to school, who they got married to, what businesses they have, where around the world they move, who are their friends. Everything is done. And those companies do that investigation and they send that report directly to the Citizenship by Investment office, not to the investors, although they are the ones who have to pay for it, but they send that in a sealed envelope to the office. And when that envelope is opened, any adverse report, any red flag that is raised, that person is automatically denied from getting citizenship in Dominica.
Trump was a proper veteran.
Pardon?
Trump was a proper veteran.
That is right. Donald Trump, the great Donald Trump was a proper vetting. Thank you very much. Extreme vetting is done on these people. And that is the kind of program that we run. And you know, I've heard all sorts of nonsense about, oh, what if all those citizens come to Dominica to vote and all that. But I mean, for you to be registered as a voter in Dominica, you must live in the place you want to vote for 90 days. And no election, in my recent memory, have been called for more than 90 days. An election is called at most, you'll get a month to campaign. So it will not be possible for any of those citizens to come down and live anywhere in Dominica to be able to register to vote in time to participate in any elections. So that really doesn't make any sense to us. And that is what the opposition is trying to make us believe. But really, we know better. So that's what your government is trying to do for you. And I can tell you that all of those funds are being reinvested into the programs that we have. So you've heard a number of hotels being built. We're building the hotels because we want to create sustainable employment. We want to put people to work, first in building those hotels, and after the hotels are built, in the employment that you will get in the hotel, you will be able to go to the credit union and take a loan because you have a steady and a sure salary and build a house for your family, feed your family and feed yourselves. That is what we want to do. And so we're building a 5-star hotel at the Calibishie right now called the Kapinski Hotel. And there are about 200 people already employed in the construction of that hotel.
15 from Calibishie.
15 from Calibishie. Look, your parent is telling me you have 15 from Calibishie. So every fortnight or every month, that is monies from the building of that hotel through the citizenship by investment program that is coming back to this community, because they have to come and they have to buy their back-a-neck in the shop, they have to go and buy their tanya in the market, they have to go and drink a beer on the side of the road, they have to give, you know, their child mother some money to buy some milk and pampers, and that money is circulating in the Calibishie economy. We have another hotel to be built by another Dominican again, Mr. Ali Lawrence. He's going to put a hotel where Coconut Beach. Remember a man called Karam used to have a hotel on a place in Pika called Coconut Beach. Ali Lawrence is going to build another hotel there called Silver Beach. And that Silver Beach is branded by one of the most popular hotel chains around the world called Marriott. I'm sure you all have heard of Marriott. And Marriott has millions of customers around the world. Marriott's advertising budget for their hotels is bigger than even Dominica spends to promote Dominica. So we will get a benefit. Dominica will become more known when Marriott starts to promote that particular establishment. We have another hotel to come again in Salisbury, another Dominican who is involved in hotel and villa development in another island in St. Kitts. He has some property in Anguilla, he has some property, but he decided because he's Dominican, he wants to do something in the land of his birth, and he's coming up to do a hotel. Hilton will brand that hotel another popular name in Salisbury. And of course we know of Jungle Bay after Tropical Storm Erica. Jungle Bay in Daly's Point Millard was destroyed. Hotel owned by another local Dominican businessman and entrepreneur, Mr. Sam Raphael. And again, Sam Raphael will get funds out of the citizenship by investment program to rebuild the Jungle Bay in the Soufriere area. Now I'm saying all that because I know the people of the Calibishie area can identify with that, because you have taken the tourism thing and you have made your own brand. And you are very successful at this whole tourism issue in Calibishie. A number of you have properties and you receive your guests on a yearly basis. Some of those people are repeat guests, have been coming. I didn't know where the meeting was and I was looking for the panel rep. So I went up and I drove up into the area where those lovely villas are. And every time I go there, although it wasn't my first time, I'm always so impressed and so amazed. When you get to that area, in the area where Pose has the restaurant there, you feel like you're not even in Calibishie again. You feel like you're out of Dominica. The place is so well kept and the homes there are in such fine state. You know, and that is really brilliant of Calibishie. I find that Calibishie is blessed in the sense that almost anything people in Calibishie touch, they make a success of it. I don't know what is the secret, but I have tremendous respect for Calibishie. I mean, in agriculture, Calibishie is a leading farming and agricultural community. And the Minister of Agriculture told you that right now we have the multi-purpose pack houses that are open. We open one in Roseau and we open one in Portsmouth. And every day the guys are telling me that the hucksters and the shippers, the people shipping stuff out of Dominica, are asking for stuff. They're asking for pumpkins, especially cucumbers. They're asking for cucumbers. Yams, they want yams, okay. They want plantains, but we know the issues with the black cigar tobacco, so we continue to work with the Ministry of Agriculture. So there is tremendous scope and potential for the sale of agricultural produce right now. In fact, just yesterday I was speaking to a shipper from Woodford Hill, and she has some land, I think a couple of acres of land, maybe about 15 or so acres, that she got some young guys together to form a group, and I met with them as the Minister for Employment under NEP. They're going to form a little small group where they're going to work that land and get it going and plant the stuff so that when it gets to harvest, we can send them off on their own, or they can go to the small business unit and they can get a grant to do some business on their own. And I know that that is something that can be done in the Calibishie area. We have a lot of industrious young people here. And the Minister told you, not only men, but women can get into farming because there's tremendous scope in agriculture right now. I can tell you because I'm involved in the sale and export of agricultural produce through those pack houses, and every day we are getting requests and demands for stuff that we cannot meet. So we really have to improve on our production, and the government is giving you every bit of assistance. Because of the Citizenship by Investment program, the ministers, my colleagues, have told you that we have been able to place $10 million at the aid bank. For you, that's for farmers and for other persons interested in getting into agricultural production. And so many other facilities. We're getting fertilizer under the banana company in Measures de Bam. We're also getting fertilizer from Morocco. We have a fertilizer Dex here. That's fertilizer selling both in Portsmouth and in Roseau. You can get the fertilizer. I mean, every input that is needed. The oils for the management of the black cigar tobacco problem. And I know some farmers have been really trying their best. In fact, I have an idea that we discussed at one of our meetings where under the NEP we're going to try to put a team together of young men who can do the spraying to help the farmers. So in addition to the farmers who do the spraying of their fields, those young men will go around and help to spray those fields, and it will give the farmer an ease up, because we know that the purchase of the oils and even payment of persons who help you to spray the bananas can sometimes be onerous on you and expensive. So the government will meet you halfway when it comes to that. Again, under our apprenticeship program, your pilot told you about the poultry things that we are doing around Dominica, because we have the abattoir, and the abattoir is demanding chicken right now and pork. And so we have set up a number of those poultry production units around Dominica. We have about 6 of them right now. One in Bonn, in Portsmouth, one in Melvin Hall, close to Marigot, another one in Grand Fort, and about 2 others around the place. And so that is something that we can do for you. Young men, get yourselves together, get yourself in a group action where you can have a pork production unit, and the abattoir will take all of the pork that you can produce and generate employment for yourselves. So that's why we are here, not only to speak to you, but to hear from you some of the things that you think we can do.